Hello and welcome to the current affairs of 14th December 2025. So in today's current affairs video, we will be seeing around 15 questions. List of some of the topics has been displayed on your screen. Rest when we will be going through the questions and we will see each individually. So without wasting our time, let's directly get into the topics. First question, what is supernova? Supernova क्या होता है? So the correct answer is option B. Supernova, it is the cataclysmic explosion of a massive star. What do we mean by cataclysmic? It means very large and violent, right? Cataclysmic means very large and violent. Okay, so supernova is cataclysmic explosion of massive star, right? Now again, the same thing that I have told you, a supernova is a cataclysmic explosion of a massive star and is among the largest explosions in space. Okay, type 1 supernova occurs. So when type 1 supernova occurs when a star accumulates matter from a nearby neighbor and runaway nuclear reaction ignites. No, what do we mean by runaway nuclear reaction? It means uncontrolled chain reaction. Uncontrolled chain reaction. So when a star takes matter from a nearby neighbor and then it triggers a uncontrollable chain reaction, then type 1 supernova occurs. Okay, type 2 supernova occurs when a star runs out of fuel and collapses under its own gravity. Now we all know that for stars the primary source of fuel is nuclear fusion, right? There are two types of basically nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. So for the most of the star, not most of them, I suppose for almost all of the star, the primary source of their power is nuclear fusion, right? So in type 2 supernova, when a star runs out of nuclear fuel, it collapses under its own gravity. Means अपने ही gravity के अंदर वो collapse करता है जब उसकी जो nuclear fuel है वो खत्म हो जाती है, and then it is called type 2 supernova. Okay, a supernova can emit more energy. Now सुपरनोवा जो है वो कहीं ज्यादा एनर्जी इमिट कर सकता है एक सन से जब वो कोलैप्स होता है। मींस कुछ सेकंड के अंदर ही सुपरनोवा इतनी ज्यादा एनर्जी इमिट कर सकता है, बहुत ज्यादा, मींस मोर देन अ सन, एंड कैन आउटशाइन द एंटायर गैलेक्सीज फॉर डेज और मंथ्स। और जो आप जब हम आकाश की तरफ देखते हैं तो हम गैलेक्सीज को देखते हैं ना, तो सुपरनोवा का जब एक्सप्लोजन होता है ना वो तो इतनी ब्राइट होती है कि वो जो गैलेक्सीज है ना उनकी कंबाइंड ब्राइटनेस को भी वो आउटशाइन कर सकती है। ओके, supernovas can be seen across the universe and are primary source of heavy elements like lead, cadmium. Okay, so these are primary elements, and supernovas जो है वो पूरे यूनिवर्स में देखे जा सकते हैं. They are the primary source of heavy elements. Okay, astronomers estimate about 2 to 3 supernovas per century in Milky Way like galaxies. Milky Way जैसी जो गैलेक्सीज हैं उसमें 2 या 3 सुपरनोवाज एक सेंचुरी में देखे जाते हैं. ठीक, मिल्की वे गैलेक्सी है या मिल्की वे जैसी और भी जो गैलेक्सीज हैं उसमें 2 या 3 सुपरनोवा जो है वो हर सेंचुरी में देखे जाते हैं. सेंचुरी मींस 100 ईयर्स. ओके, जबकि फ्यू हंड्रेड्स पर ईयर, जबकि कुछ 100 सुपरनोवाज मतलब ऑब्जर्व किए जाते हैं हर साल बियॉन्ड आवर गैलेक्सीज. मींस हमारे गैलेक्सीज में देयर आर मिलियंस एंड ट्रिलियंस ऑफ गैलेक्सीज इन द यूनिवर्स. सो बियॉन्ड आवर galaxy, that is beyond Milky Way galaxy or Akashganga galaxy, there are numerous supernovas, means hundreds. A scientist can record hundreds of supernovas in a year beyond our galaxy. Okay, question number 2, where is Death Valley National Park located? So Death Valley National Park is located where? So the correct answer is option D. It is located in southeastern California of United States of America, right? California is a state in USA, and in the California state, Death Valley National Park is located in southeastern part. All right, so southeastern California it is. Now what is some important facts about Death Valley National Park? Death Valley National Park is the hottest and driest place in North America. So in whole of North America, पूरे नॉर्थ अमेरिका में, पूरे उत्तरी अमेरिका में जो डेथ वैली नेशनल पार्क है ये सबसे ज्यादा गर्म और सबसे सूखी जगह है, एंड होस्ट्स the highest temperature ever recorded in the United States. यूनाइटेड स्टेट में जितने भी मतलब आज तक सबसे ज्यादा टेम्परेचर कहीं पे रिकॉर्ड किए गए, so it was recorded in the Death Valley National Park, right? It is the largest national park in the continental US, United States. Means continental United States का मतलब है कि लैंड एरिया पर सबसे बड़ा नेशनल पार्क कोई है यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में तो वो डेथ वैली नेशनल पार्क है. ओके, is a rift valley graben and formed by sinking rock between block faulted mountains running parallel in the east and west. Let's suppose ये दो माउंटेन हैं जो पैरेलली रन कर रहे हैं, ये एक ईस्ट में है, दिस इज इन ईस्ट, दिस इज इन वेस्ट. तो जो डेथ वैली नेशनल पार्क है वो कैसे हुआ है, आपको मैं ऐसे समझाता हूँ. तो ये ऐसे है, ये नहीं है, दिस इज ओके. तो ये जो है ना, तो हम ग्रैबिन, जो वैली या जो सिंक हो जाती है या नीचे धंस जाती है उनको हम वैली, इनको हम ग्रैबिन बोलते हैं, और जबकि इनको हम होस्ट बोलते हैं. ओके. तो बेसिकली ये किस में होता है, ब्लॉक फॉल्टेड माउंटेन्स में होता है, कि जो ईस्ट वेस्ट, अब ये लेट सपोज कि एकदम पैरेलल में आपके रन कर रही है, ये ऐसे रन करी, ये ऐसे रन करी, और इसकी जो बीच की जो वैली है वो सिंक हो गई है. ओके. सो रिफ्ट वैली इसी से क्रिएट होता है. इट लाइज इन द नॉर्दर्न पार्ट ऑफ मोहावे डेजर्ट, मोहावे डेजर्ट के नॉर्दर्न पार्ट में लोकेटेड है, एंड इन द ग्रेट बेसिन रीजन ऑफ द सियरा नेवाडा माउंटेन्स. और इसके अलावा कहाँ पर ऐड करता है, सियरा नेवाडा माउंटेन्स का जो ग्रेट बेसिन है उसमें लाई करता है. डिस्पाइट एक्सट्रीम हीट एंड लो रेनफॉल, बहुत ही ज़्यादा गर्म और बहुत ही कम बारिश के बावजूद भी बहुत विभिन्न तरह की प्रजातियाँ यहाँ पे सपोर्ट डाइवर्स स्पीसीज इंक्लूडिंग एंडेमिक स्पीसीज. एंडेमिक क्या होता है कि वही उसी लोकेशन में पाए जाते हैं और कहीं और दूसरी जगह नहीं पाए जाते. सो मेनी एंडेमिक स्पीसीज आर फाउंडेड. नाउ व्हाई दिस वाज इन न्यूज़, अभी यहाँ पे बहुत ही भारी बारिश के कारण जो एक लेक जो ऑलमोस्ट वाइप आउट हो गई थी या ड्राई हो गई थी, जिसका नाम मैनली लेक है, वो वापस से बहुत ही हैवी बारिश हुई, इसके कारण ये मैनली लेक वापस आ गई, इसलिए न्यूज़ में था. ओके. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, द चेंचू ट्राइब प्राइमरली रिसाइड्स इन विच फॉरेस्ट रीजन. चेंचू ट्राइब जो भी न्यूज़ में थे वो किस रीजन में रहते हैं. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए, नलामलाई फॉरेस्ट ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश. नलामला फॉरेस्ट जो है आंध्र प्रदेश का, उस रीजन में चेंचू ट्राइब बेसिकली पाए जाते हैं. राइट. नाउ दे आर पीवीटीज, पार्टिकुलरली वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप. ठीक है, इन आंध्र प्रदेश, एंड इसके अलावा आंध्र प्रदेश में के अलावा वो तेलंगाना, कर्नाटका और उड़ीसा में भी पाए जाते हैं. राइट. दे स्पीक वेरिएंट्स ऑफ तेलुगु. तेलुगु का जो अलग डिफरेंट वेरिएंट्स है, मीन्स तेलुगु की दूसरी जो उसकी क्या बोल सकते हैं, जैसे एक भाषा की कई सारे डायलेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं, तो तेलुगु के दूसरे डायलेक्ट्स को वो बोलते हैं, जो कि एक द्रविडियन लैंग्वेज है. तेलुगु इटसेल्फ इज अ द्रविडियन लैंग्वेज. सो एनी लैंग्वेज derived from the Telugu is also will also be a Dravidian language. Okay. A Chenchu village is called Penta. So a whole of Chenchu village is called Penta, and Pentas are small kinship based clusters of huts. और पेंटास के एक छोटे से चेंचू विलेज को पेंटा कहा जाता है, और पेंटा क्या है, स्मॉल किनशिप बेस्ड क्लस्टर है, मीन्स छोटी छोटी झोपड़ियाँ जो होती है उनका क्लस्टर्स होता है, जो कि किनशिप पे बेस्ड होता है. राइट. ठीक है, इसको हम पेंटास बोलते हैं. दी पेदामनीसी जिनको जो कि इनके विलेज एल्डर का है, जिनको मतलब इनको टाइटल दिया गया पेदामनीसी, उनको बोला जाता है. जनरली हेल्प्स मेंटेन सोशल हार्मनी इन दी फैमिली और विलेज. और उनका काम क्या है, जो एल्डर्स होते हैं, दिस इज ऑब्वियसली कॉमन टू ईच एंड एवरी societal structure that village elders generally helps maintain social harmony in the family or village. Okay. They mainly hunt and gather forest produce. They do what, their prime occupation is they mainly hunt and gather forest produce like honey, gum, tamarind, tubers and beedi leaf. So what do they collect? They collect honey, they collect gum, tamarind, tubers, beedi leaf, and they have a special temple association including Sri Sailam privileges. And they have some special association with the god Narsimha. Not a special, so they have some privilege, right? Including Sri Sailam privileges. Question number 4. The Uchi Pillaiyar temple, Rockfort temple, is located in which city of Tamil Nadu? So the Rockfort temple, which is also known as Uchi Pillaiyar temple. So this temple is located in which city of Tamil Nadu? So it is located in the state of Tamil Nadu, but in which city of Tamil Nadu? So the correct answer is option C. It is located in Tiruchirappalli, that is Trichy. So Uchi Pillaiyar temple is located in Tiruchirappalli or Trichy, right? The Uchi Pillaiyar temple, also called Rockfort temple. So this temple we have already seen above that Uchi Pillaiyar temple is also known as Rockfort temple. It is located top Rockfort hill. So it is located on the top of Rockfort hill, and that's why the name is Rockfort hill in Tiruchirappalli, Trichy, Tamil Nadu, right? It is a 7th century CE Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Ganesh. So this temple, that is Uchi Pillaiyar temple, is dedicated to Lord Ganesh. Bhagwan Ganesh ko ye temple dedicated hai, and this was built in 7th century CE. So it is a Hindu temple. Obviously Lord Ganesh is a Hindu god, so it is a 7th century temple. Okay, construction was, so the construction of this temple was started by the Pallavas. However, the completion was done by the Nayaks of Madurai. So sorry, who started the construction of the temple. So temple construction was started by the Pallavas. However, the completion was done by the Nayaks of Madurai, right? The Rockfort complex includes the Manika Vinaya temple. So the whole of Rockfort complex, okay, so this temple is located at Rockfort temple. So there is a whole of Rockfort complex, and within this complex there is includes Manika Vinaya temple. There is also another temple called Manika Vinaya temple at the foothill, and the Uchi Pillaiyar temple at the top. So there are two temples. Basically there are three temples. Okay, one is Manika Vinaya temple at the foothill of the Rockfort, then Uchi Pillaiyar temple at the top, and the complex is also includes Thayamana Swami. So there is one more temple called Thayamuna Swami temple, which is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Bhagwan Shiv ko dedicated hai on the way up, right? So this, the temple that you see, this temple is Uchi Pillaiyar temple, and here this is the temple of Manika Vinayakar temple, right? And somewhere here the Thayamuna Swami temple is located. The site offers aerial views of Trichy. Now, when you get atop of the Rockfort hill or Rockfort temple, what you can see the aerial views of Trichy, Srirangam temple, Kaveri river, and Koli Dam river. So these are the sites which you can see after getting atop of the Rockfort hill. Question number 5. Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary is located in which state? So why Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary was in news? It was in news because many horns and remnants of the animals have been discovered when a agency raided the Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary. There was a poacher who was carrying all these things like horns and deer heads. So these many things were, individual was caught with these many things. So Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary is located in the state of Bihar, in district Kaimur, right? Okay, so it is located in Bihar in Kaimur Hill Range. It is the largest sanctuary in Bihar. So Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary is the largest sanctuary in Bihar, and it is bounded by which two rivers? Son River and Karmanasa River. So these two are the rivers that bound the Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, the region has forts. Now the Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary or the Kaimur region hill range has forts, an ancient Mundeswari temple which is among the oldest Hindu temples in India. Now there might be some instances where some ask in any examination the question might be asked that where is Mundeswari temple located, or which is the oldest Hindu temples in one of the oldest Hindu temples in India. So the correct answer will be Mundeswari temple. It is one of the oldest Hindu temples in India, located in the Kaimur Hill range, right? It connects. Now what is the significance of Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary? It connects Bandhavgarh, Sanjay, Guru Ghasidas, Palamau tiger meta population landscape. So it connects all these landscape, all these what I would say national park and wildlife sanctuary landscape through fragmented forest patches along the Son basin, right? So it connects all this Bandhavgarh, Sanjay, Guru Ghasidas, Palamau tiger meta population landscape. So this whole include landscape. Okay, let's suppose this is the whole of landscape. So inside this Bandhavgarh, Sanjay, Guru Ghasidas and Palamau tiger meta population landscape. It has waterfalls like Karkat and Telhar. There is also one kund named as Telhar Kund. Okay, so Telhar Kund is right below the Telhar waterfall, right? So it has waterfalls like Karkat, Telhar, and lakes such as Anupam Lake, along with prehistoric rock paintings and fossils. So here we also find the prehistoric rock paintings. Means it gives us evidence that prehistoric peoples at some point of time has lived here, and they have left their remnants like in the form of paintings and fossils, right? So what is the important thing to remember here is that it has waterfalls like Karakat and Telhar, and lakes, Anupam Lake. Okay, Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay. Question number 6. The bar-headed goose is best known for which features? Now what is the best known feature of bar-headed goose? So the correct answer is option D, being bar-headed goose are the highest flying birds in the world. Means they are the highest flying birds in the world. Means Sorry, the elevation that they fly at is very high, so that's why they are the, this is the important thing to remember, that bar-headed goose are the highest flying birds in the world, right? Bar-headed goose is a migratory bird species known for one of the highest flying birds in the world. So they are a migratory bird species which migrates seasonally from one place to another, and they are one of the highest flying birds in the world, right? It is native to Central Asia. So where they are native to, endemic to, they are native to Central Asia, where it breeds. It means during the breeding season they go to Central Asian countries, they breed, and then migrates seasonally. Okay, it might be winters or during some other time, so they migrate seasonally. It is found in countries including India, Nepal, Kazakhstan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Japan. So where these bar-headed goose are found, they are found in Nepal, India, Nepal, Kazakhstan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Japan. And there is one also one terrorist country where this bar-headed goose are found. So I have left out the name. That is, terrorist nation Pakistan. Okay. Its habitat is typically near water bodies. So where these bar-headed goose typically resides, so they mostly resides near the water bodies. Okay, they mostly resides near the water bodies. Its conservation status is least concern. So what is the conservation status of bar-headed goose? Its conservation status is least concern in the IUCN Red List. So under the IUCN Red List, the category of bar-headed goose is least concern. Question number 7. International Fund for Agriculture Development is headquartered in which city? So IFAD, which the full form of IFAD is International Fund for Agriculture Development. So its headquarters is located in which city? So the correct answer is option A. The headquarters of International Fund for Agriculture Development is located in Rome. Okay. So IFAD is a specialized agency of United Nations. So it is a specialized agency of United Nations and international financial institution. It is also an international financial institution which provide finances to, for certain projects or some works that can be carried out, right, in the fields of agriculture or some other, some other processes. So International Fund for Agriculture Development is a specialized agency. Remember this, it is a specialized agency of United Nations. It is also a member of United Nations Development, UNDP. So IFAD is also a member of United Nations Development Program. Okay. It was established in 1977 through a United Nations General Assembly resolution. So when it was established, IFAD, International Fund for Agriculture Development, was established in 1997 through a UNGA resolution, United Nations General Assembly resolution. Okay. What is the objective of IFAD? So its objective is to eradicate poverty and hunger in rural areas of developing countries. So India is a developing country. So let's suppose, taking the example of India. So what is the IFAD objective? Its objective is to eradicate poverty and hunger. In particularly, they don't focus on urban areas. I'm not saying they don't focus on, but generally, in general, we are talking in general. So in general, they focuses on eradicating poverty in rural areas and hunger. Okay. How? By empowering people and improving food security and nutrition, right? So they empower the people by improving food security, means they provide access to foods, make the food cheaper in some or the other way, and provide nutrition. And they also ensure that the food that is going to be provided must be nutrition rich. It is the only multilateral development institution. IFAD is only multilateral development institution focused exclusively on transforming rural economies. Now, this is one of the important thing to notice here, that IFAD, that is International Fund for Agriculture Development, is only multilateral institution. There are many multilateral development institutions like Asian Development Bank, United Nations. There are some bodies of United Nations as well. So it is only multilateral development institution focused exclusively on transforming rural economies and food system. Okay, including in fragile and least developed areas. Okay, so where they worked in fragile and least developed areas, means uh, where people are in conflict, let's say in Gaza, for example, or somewhere there where there are not much resources available for the people to sustain their life. So they are present in those areas. IFAD, International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD provides grants for research. What they do, they provide grants for research, innovation, institutional change, and pro-poor technologies through global regional grants and country-specific grants. So they provide two types of grants. First is global or regional grants and country-specific grants. Okay. So what they do, as we have already discussed, that IFAD is also an international finance institution. So what is the function of financial institution? They provide finances. And what do they provide finances for? They provide finances for research, innovation, institutional change, pro-poor technology through global regional grants and country-specific grants, right? IFAD has 180 members state, including India. So how many members are there? There are a total of 180 members states, including India, and its headquarters is in Rome. So headquarters of IFAD is in Rome, which is the capital of Italy. Now we have recently talked about the Italy. Why Italy was in the news? It was in the news because some business delegation from the Italy has recently visited India. Business delegation traveled India, right? What more about Italy? It says it borders with Switzerland. I might be forgetting something. Then France. Okay, there is one more country, I guess. I guess it is Slovenia or some other country, right? So, okay. Italy, while governing council as the highest decision-making body. Okay, so highest decision-making body of IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development, is its governing council, right? Okay. Hard corals are also known as what? Hard corals are also known as what? So the correct answer is option C. They are also known as stony reef building corals, right? Hard corals are also known as stony reef building corals. And they build limestone frameworks. So why they are called stony reef building corals? Because they build limestone frameworks, right, that form coral reefs. Okay. They grow in colonies of thousands of polyps that secrete calcium carbonate to create hard skeleton. Now, corals live in symbiotic relationship. What is symbiotic relationship? It means fulfilling the needs of one and the another. There are two species in any symbiotic relationship, and both are dependent on each other for either for survival or for food security, right? So hard corals grow in colonies of thousands of polyps. So polyps is one organisms of corals that secrete. So what do the polyps do? They secrete calcium carbonate. It is the polyps that secrete calcium carbonate to create hard skeletons. Over time, their calcium carbonate skeletons become rock and form the foundation on which new corals can settle. So once they secrete calcium carbonate, over the period of time, they become rock. Obviously, calcium carbonate, the name itself, CaCO3, which is the chemical formula of calcium carbonate, right? CaCO3. So basically, over the period of time, this become rock, and which lays the foundation for new corals that can settle over the previous rock. Okay. They depend on symbiotic relationship. So they depend on symbiotic relationship called zooxanthellae algae. So there are two organisms. First is polyps. What it does, they secrete calcium carbonate to create hard skeletons, and second is zooxanthellae, right? Zooxanthellae. So what they do, they live inside the polyps or the corals and provide them food. Okay, while they receive shelter. Zooxanthellae receive shelter. They get protected by the corals in return of food they provide, right, alongside them, inside them, and provide food while receiving shelters. So whenever due to some uncertain reason or due to any other reason, whenever there is disturbance of the corals, what to do? The polyps explain the zooxanthellae. The polyps explain the zooxanthellae and it becomes white, right? So the color of the corals are because of zooxanthellae that live inside them, right? Major threats including coral bleaching. So what are the major threats? Coral bleaching driven by extreme heat and stony coral tissue loss. This is across many countries. So these are some of the major threats. First is coral bleaching, which is driven by first extreme heat. That is, we all know, we all are aware about the climate change, reality of climate change. We are facing certain face instances of climate change, and stony coral tissue loss disease across many countries. Loss of key herbivores such as diadema, such as sea urchin, can increase macroalgae growth and harm reef system. So what happens is, when key herbivore like diadema, such as diadema sea urchin, decreases, So when they decreases, there, no, we all know that any environment is how they are governed. Basically, there is one is the prey and second is the predator, in the sense that diadema herbivore sea urchin is the predator and microalgae is the prey. So they consume microalgae which protects corals, but due to abundance of microalgae, they harm the reef system. Okay. Question number 9. Mexico shares land borders with which of the following countries? So which are the countries with whom Mexico shared its land borders? So here you can see the first country is obviously Doland, not Doland, it's Donald, but yes, Donald Trump. And then second and third country is Belize and Guatemala, right? So the correct answer is option B. United States, Guatemala, and Belize. These are the three countries which shares land border with Mexico, right? So it is located in southern part of North America and its capital city is Mexico. It shares land borders with United States, Guatemala, and Belize. So USA shares its land border with United States, Guatemala, and Belize, right? It is bordered by Pacific Ocean to the south. So this is the Pacific Ocean, right? This is the Pacific Ocean to the south, and west, along again west is it is shared the border with Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea to the east, right? This is the Caribbean Sea to the east. Mexico is part of Circum-Pacific Ring of Fire, which have active volcanism and frequent seismic activity. So Mexico lies in the Ring of Fire region. It means that, you know, the areas which circles the boundary, this is the areas where there is frequent, you know, eruption of volcanic activity and frequent seismic activity is there, right? So this is Ring of the Fire. Ring of Fire basically a zone which is affected by volcanism and seismic activity. Okay. It includes Baja California Peninsula. Oh, the Mexico City includes Baja California Peninsula and Yucatan Peninsula and mountain ranges like Sierra Madre. So the mountain that is present in Mexico is Sierra Madre, whereas two important peninsulas which are Baja California Peninsula. So this is the Baja California Peninsula, and second is Yucatan Peninsula. I guess this is the Yucatan Peninsula, right? You can see the name Yucatan. So this is Yucatan Peninsula. Major rivers include the Rio Grande. So major rivers of Mexico is Rio Grande and the Colorado River. So Colorado River flows through both USA and Mexico. And key resources include petroleum and minerals like silver and copper. Okay. Question number 10. The Sujalam Bharat app is associated with which mission? Now recently Ministry of Jal Shakti Recently Ministry of Jal Shakti has launched the Sujalam app. Sujalam Bharat app. So what is the purpose of Sujalam Bharat app? First, it is associated with which mission? So it is associated with Jal Jeevan mission, right? The Sujalam Bharat app is a digital initiative. So it is a digital initiative which tries to improve the rural drinking water governance. The function of the Sujalam app is to increase the drinking water governance under the Jal Jeevan mission. What do we mean by water governance, drinking water governance? It means that to ensure that the safe and you know any contaminated free water is taken by the people for the drinking purpose and for all other activities carried out, right? It was developed with support from Bhaskaracharya National Institute of Space Application and Geoinformatics. So talking about the Sujalam Bharat app, who developed it? It was developed with the support of Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Application and Geoinformatics, right? The app enables georeferencing. What does this app enables? This app enables georeferencing, monitoring, management of rural water supply infrastructure, and integrates sources, assets, water quality, supply metrics, and community feedback. So these are the few you know services that is providing through the Sujalam Bharat app. What it does is it enables georeferencing, monitoring, management of rural water supply infrastructure, whether the infrastructure is good or not, integrates water sources, multiple sources are integrated on the platform, assets, water assets. What are the other assets? Water quality, it measures the water quality, whether water quality is good or not, supply metrics, and community feedback, right? It introduced Sujalam Gaon ID to create a clear digital profile. For creating a as on social media, we are creating our platform with a unique ID, like our ID. We all have got our unique ID, like on Gmail or some other platforms like Facebook, Instagram. So in the same way, there is a Sujalam Gaon ID, which is used for creating digital profile, right, for each habitation, covering water source, infrastructure status, supply reliability, water quality, and operation and maintenance arrangements. It is integrated with PM Gati Shakti. So the Sujalam Bharat app is integrated with PM Gati Shakti Geographic Information System for up-to-date geospatial mapping to support planning, repair, and expansion. Okay, so it is integrated with PM Gati Shakti Geographic Information System for up-to-date geospatial mapping to support planning, repair, and expansion. It aims to improve transparency. What is the aim of Sujalam Bharat app? Its aim is to improve transparency and community oversight. Means the individuals who are taking the services must oversee the process or the the process that is carried out of providing the safe drinking water through gram panchayats and village water and sanitation committees. Okay, question number 11. The census 2017, the census 2027 exercise will be conducted by which office? The census 2027 exercise will be conducted by, correct answer is option A, Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India. So it will be conducted by Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India. Now, the government has announced the census is going to be conducted in 2027 and it will be the India's 16th census overall. So during the history, it will be the 16th census overall and 8th census after independence. So it will be the 8th census after independence, right? It will be conducted in 2 phases. So census is going to be conducted in 2 phases. First will be the house listing and house census, which will go through which will be conducted during the time period of April to September 2026. House listing and house census. So what the agency will be doing during this time period is that during the house listing process they will be geo mapping the houses, collecting the details about what equipments are available in your house, like fridge, TV, AC, bike or car, and whether the sanitation facilities are available, whether the toilets are built up. So these all information they are going to collect during the first phase, that is April to 26, and during the second phase, population enumeration, means there will be the individual, they will collect data regarding the individual personality, like name, age, how many members are there. So these will be conducted in the second phase, right? It is planned as the first digital census using mobile application with an option of self-enumeration. Now, this will be the first digital census will be and it will be conducted through mobile application. And now you can self-enumeration means you can by yourself provide the details of census, like you are individual. Let's suppose I am an individual. If I want to provide my information to the census, whoever the conducting, that is Office of Registrar General, then I can do it myself. I have to go through the online app and then register, fill all the necessary details that there is required, and then that is called self-enumeration. Caste data will be captured during the population enumeration phase. So what will be done? This caste data means which caste you belongs to, it will be enumerated, it will be listed, right? A census management and monitoring system CMMS portal will support real-time monitoring. So there will be a portal named Center Management and Monitoring System, which it will be doing, it will be supporting real-time monitoring. And Census as a Service CAAS will provide machine readable outputs to ministries. And Census as a Service, so it will also be providing data to the ministries. Okay. The census is conducted by the Office of Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India. So it is conducted by the Office of Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India which works under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So census or Office of Registrar General and the Census Commissioner of India works under the Ministry of Home Affairs, right? This is the important thing to notice. It might be asked in your examination that who is the governing body or under whom the Commissioner of India, Census Commissioner of India located works. So it works under the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Census Act 1948, right? Under the Census Act 1948, and last completed census was in 2011. So it was supposed to census was supposed to be conducted every 10 years. However, it was delayed it was not conducted in 2021 because of pandemic. Which pandemic? COVID-19 pandemic. Because of COVID-19 pandemic, it was postponed and it was going to be conducted in 2027, right? Now, what is the main purpose? Question number 12. What is the main purpose of SHANTI Bill 2025 approved by the Union Cabinet? Now, recently, Union Cabinet had approved a SHANTI Bill. What is the purpose of the SHANTI Bill? So the correct answer is option C, to enable private sector participation in nuclear power generation. The SHANTI Bill will enable the private sector participation in the nuclear power generation. Okay. The SHANTI Bill 2025 enables regulated private sector participation in nuclear power generation across the region. Up till now, what will happen that the whole of the monopoly lies with the government sector, right? Which is the main authority which overlooks the nuclear energy is Department of Atomic Energy. It was the main regulating body, or you say it was the main governing body. What it does, what this bill does is it reduces the exclusive monopoly of DA. So earlier there was a monopoly of Department of Atomic Energy, means only the government sector is allowed to to go into the nuclear sector, right? But through this bill, private players are also being allowed by opening participation to private companies. Now private companies can also participate, right? However, they will be regulated. It proposes a unified legal framework. What it does, they proposes a unified legal framework by consolidating existing laws into one comprehensive statute. Means there were many laws scattered over the place, right? So what this SHANTI bill does, they will unify all the legal framework and consolidate all the laws into one comprehensive statute to improve regularity and clarity, investor confidence, right? Okay. Private participation can help mobilize resources and support India's long-term nuclear capacity target. What private participation can help in? Now, we all know that we are 2060 is the time period to which we have to become a carbon neutral country. Means our carbon emissions should be almost zero. Means whatever we carbon emit, we must absorb those carbons through any means, by plantation or some other means, right? So the government is trying to achieve this carbon neutrality, and so the major source of carbon emissions are the coal power plants, which generates a lot of carbon during power emission. So if we install nuclear power, if we install nuclear power plants or small modular reactors, so our goal is to generate 100 gigawatt of energy by electricity by 2047 with nuclear fuels. So that is why this becomes important, right? The involvement of private sector in the nuclear generation. It can accelerate adoption of advanced technologies such as small modular reactors and modern safety systems and improve energy security. So what it does, it will accelerate the adoption of a small advanced. Now, there are many red flags. I would not say red flag, but red tapees. The correct term would be red tapees. Means file is locating at one place. It takes many times for government companies to travel to complete the process. But when a private company gets involved, there is accountability, there is responsibility for each and every individual. So the things happen more fast as compared to the public companies. So with this bill, it will accelerate the inclusion of advanced technologies and as well as small modular reactors. Okay. Key challenges include. What are the key challenges include? The key challenges include safety and liability concerns under the Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act. Okay. So what are the key challenges of this bill, or what can be the key challenges after introducing this bill? So it will include safety and liability concern under the Civil Liability and Nuclear Damage Act. Let's suppose whatever any mishappening happens, so who will be the responsible, right? Then national security safeguards, long project timelines, about 7 to 10 years. National security safeguard means nuclear power plants are critical infrastructure. So if by any means, let's suppose in a terrorist attack or some neighboring countries try to do damage to our nuclear installation, so it might be a national security threat as well. So how we are going to deal with that as well. And long project timelines. So it is not easy to install nuclear power plants. It is not in 1 to 2 years you are going to install that power plants and you will start generating energy. So it takes usually about 7 to 10 years to complete the whole process. So that is why the long project timelines is one of the key challenges as well. Question number 13. India's United Nations Environment Assembly resolution mentioned in news focused on strengthening cooperation for which issues? Now, recently India put a resolution for India has recently put a resolution to the United Nations Environment Assembly. Now, what was that resolution associated with or related with? So it was related with wildfire management, right? The question is, India's United Nations Environment Assembly resolution mentioned in news focused on strengthening cooperation for which issues? So the resolution that has been tabled by the India was focused on strengthening cooperation for which issues? Okay, so it was for wildfire management, right? India's resolution at United Nations Environment Assembly aimed to strengthen. So India's resolution at United Nations Environment Assembly aimed to strengthen international cooperation. It aimed to strengthen international cooperation and coordinated action for wildfire management. And coordinated action for wildfire management. Okay. The resolution emphasized early warning systems, risk assessment, satellite and ground-based monitoring, and community alerts. So what the resolution emphasized on early warning systems, risk assessment, satellite and ground-based monitoring, and community alerts. It called for regional and global collaboration for prevention, post-response recovery, and ecosystem restoration. So what does the resolution call for? It called for means regional and global collaboration, means many countries should join hand in combating the wildfire management, for prevention, post-response recovery. If happens, then how we are going to respond to that, after the situation, and ecosystem restoration. Means whenever wildfire happens, means lakhs and lakhs of kilometers of forests are burned. So how we are going to recover that? How we are going to restore that ecosystem back to their normal? It supported knowledge sharing. What it supported is it supported knowledge sharing, capacity building, and assistance for integrated fire management and national or regional action plan. So the resolution support knowledge sharing. It talks about knowledge sharing, means sharing of knowledge. Let's suppose a country like Japan has advanced knowledge in wildfire management, but a country like Bangladesh or India has slightly less knowledge. So how we are going to share that knowledge to avoid the wildfire management, right? Assistance for integrated fire management and national for or regional action plans. It include facilitating access to finance, including help in project preparation for multilateral and result-based funding. Okay. United Nations Environment Assembly is the highest global making decision body on environmental matters. For environmental matters, the United Nations Environment Assembly, that is UNEA, is the highest level global decision making. It was established in 2012 and the headquarters is in Nairobi, Kenya, right? So the headquarters of UNEA is in Nairobi, Kenya, and United Nations Environment program has warned that wildfires could rise sharply by 2100 if trends continue. It has said that wildfires could rise by 50% of the current trend if not taking the appropriate steps, if the same trend continues, right? Question number 14. Vihear temple is located in which country? I don't know why this is happening. Vihear temple is located in which country? So it is located in Thailand, right? Correct answers. Is located in Cambodia. So Vihear temple is located in Cambodia near Thailand. I'm sorry, it is located in Cambodia near Thailand border. So why this was in news? Because there is a conflict going on between Thailand and Cambodia. So Indian government has requested both the government to ensure that the temple structure remains safe, right? So it is located in Cambodia near Thailand border. The temple, this temple, that is Vihear temple, is dedicated to Lord Shiva as its principal deity. Means this temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Bhagwan Shiva dedicated this temple. Construction began under the King Yasovarman. So the construction of Vihear temple was begin under the Yasovarman I, whose time period 889 to 910 C, and was completed during the reign of Suryavarman II. It was completed in 1113 to 1150 of Kaimur dynasty. So the king who started the temple of Vihear temple is Yasovarman and completed by Suryavarman II. The important thing to remember here is that Vihear temple is located in the state of Cambodia. It was built by Kaimur dynasty, right? Kaimur dynasty, and there were two rulers who built this whole structure. First started by the King Yasovarman, whereas it was completed by King Suryavarman II. Now the important thing is that temple is recognized UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so this is the most important thing. Question number 15. What is the main objective of NASA's MAVEN spacecraft? So NASA, why this was in news? NASA recently lost its connection with MAVEN spacecraft. भी NASA ने जो MAVEN spacecraft था उससे अपना connection lost कर दिया. So that's why this was in news. So what was the objective of MAVEN's spacecraft? The correct answer is option A, to study Mars' upper atmosphere and how it was lost to space. Though the objective of MAVEN spacecraft was to study the Mars' upper atmosphere and how it was lost to space. MAVEN stands for, the full form of MAVEN is Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution, right? It was launched by NASA in 2013. So it was launched by National Aeronautics and Space Administration in 2013. Its objective is to study Mars' upper atmosphere and ionosphere and the interaction with the sun and solar wind. So what is the objective of MAVEN? Its objective was to study the upper atmosphere of Mars and ionosphere and how how the atmosphere lost to the space, and how does it interact with sun and the solar wind. Okay, it specifically explains how Mars lost much of its atmosphere to space over time. Okay. So that's it for the current affairs of 14 December 2025. I hope you like this video. I don't know, there are not many people watching this video, but yes, I'm in the process of improving myself, so that's why I'm recording this video, even if no one is watching these videos. So I hope there is one person who always watch my video. So thank you so much for watching, and bye bye, Jayan. Thank you so much.